Alright, now I'm going to move on to the joints in the face. So all we have to do now is all these facial controls in the eyelids. Everything else is done. So, and I'm not going to worry about these eyelashes for now. So if you have eyelashes, I would suggest just hiding them. And then after you rig your eyelids, you can copy the skin weights and then clean them up after that. So sometimes it's easier to get to the verts in the mouth if you just open the jaw. So I'm just going to open the jaw a little bit and then start painting from there. So let's be an interactive and replace with the value 1, not 2. There, 1. So we got our brow first. Brow 1's on the inside. And just like we did with the pie, we're going to block in the weights first and then go from there. So I'm not being super specific because we're going to smooth out these weights a ton. So and it's going to look kind of weird until we start smoothing stuff out, but that's okay. And I'm going to worry about the eyelids last because they're better to just do on their own as a separate thing. I'm going to frame an object, so sometimes it's good to frame an object by where you're working so your rotate pivot isn't like somewhere random. Nostril. And since we're doing it like this, it's a lot easier to see what verts are assigned to the corner mouth. So it makes our lives a little bit easier. Okay. So now I guess we can mirror the weights. And just start smoothing. So let's go post. And just go really crazy with the smoothing. Okay. And at this point we can just prune all those small weights that don't really do anything. So skin, edit smooth skin, prune, small weights. Now get rid of some of that junk. Okay, let's go ahead and mirror our weights real quick. And then we'll have to smooth between the left and right mouth and brow joints. So right upper mouth, smooth this out. Okay, same with the lower mouth. Yeah, I thought it was in post there for a second. I don't really know why these weights are here freaking out. Okay, let's get rid of these small weights again. And let's normalize this and see how things are looking. So not bad. One place that's going to be a problem is the brow, because it always is. So let's zero this stuff out and check that out. It's like our jaw is working okay, but there is kind of a weird V shape going on here, so I guess we can smooth that out a little bit. Thing with the joints on the face is that they pretty much just have to be really smooth, and if you smooth them out just a ton, they'll look fine. So I'll just keep smoothing until I get what I want. And that's already looking a lot better. Okay. I might give more influence to the upper lip joints right here so we don't get this weird crease going on here, but I'm just going to leave that for now and move on to the brow. Let's save this real quick. I guess we can check things like this isn't really moving anything, so let's go ahead and find cheekbone, give it a little bit more weight, and we're in post, so that's okay. Let's just stay in post. Since we're in post, it won't really be a problem if we just kind of remove weights like this. Now we can kind of manually smooth it. That's why smooth flooding isn't always good. Sometimes it gives you results like this, so. Sometimes it's better just do it manually. Like that. Let's see what we got going on here now. It's looking better. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then I guess we can check the cheek. Looks like I could use a little bit more weight as well. Okay, and we're in interactive right now, so switch a post and then smooth this stuff out. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit smoother. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. It's about what we want. And okay, the brow actually isn't looking that bad. It just needs to be smoothed out between the left and right side. So let's go ahead and do that. Get to post mode. Okay. Yeah, it definitely needs to be smoother. Okay. Sometimes it's good to just leave the brow with not a value of 1, because it's really hard to get good results with the brow. So that's not looking too bad. Just needs to be a little bit smoother. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So now we can move on to the eyelets. And for the eyelets, I'm just going to use the script to start off at least. I'm going to use this weight percent thing. Okay, so when you're doing the eyelets, it's usually a good idea to just set some keys up. So just get our time slider and just set some keys. Okay. And so I'm just going to start with maybe these verts here. Since this is the highest point, it's going to be going the furthest, so we'll assign 1 to it. And we need to find the eyelid joint, left joint. Eyelid 1. Eyelid 1's the top one. Okay, so now we got this. And we need to be in interactive mode or else it won't give a value 1. Okay. There we go. And let's edit this key real quick. We want it to end up right about there. So, okay. Let's move on to these verts. And this is really just guess and check. There's not a good way to do it. I would suggest starting with a value that's lower than you think it should be, and then working your way from there. Let's try 0.8. 0.9, I guess. Okay, let's go a little bit higher. 0.97. That's 0.98. Okay, now let's move on to these. Again, let's start way lower than we think it is, and just work our way up. That's about good. Okay, like 0.3, something like that. Okay. And I guess we can move these verts a little bit too. Maybe just a little tiny bit. Something like that. Okay, let's move over here. So this is the general concept. It's a little bit time consuming, but it doesn't really take that long. Because once you get these first set of verts done, the rest is really easy. And now we're around the tier duct, so it's a little bit more difficult. And sometimes it's good to look at some reference. You can see here that the tier duct is actually covered when you blink. So we're going to want to actually do that, bring some of these verts down. Okay, so my geometry isn't perfect, but we're going to have to call that good. So after we get this done, everything else is pretty easy. It's just smoothing these out. So like 0.75 is good. And we can kind of smooth these out a little bit with the brush. But for now, this is fine. Then maybe give these guys a little tiny bit too. Might as well. Okay, so yeah, now we can smooth it out a little bit with the brush in post mode. And eyelid 1. Just make it a little bit of a nicer shape here. Okay. So it's looking pretty good. Sans tear duct, but that's just something that I guess now I know that I should build my tear duct more set back into the head. But that's okay. It won't be very noticeable. Okay, so let's move on to the bottom lid now. So we can go ahead and delete these keys. And let's do the bottom. The bottom's really easy. You don't have to go crazy because you can't really move your bottom lids that much anyways, so it doesn't have to be too crazy. So, same idea. Let's do a value of 1 right here. And I did that to eyelid 1, so it's eyelid 2, it's a bottom lid. Okay. So, a little boring, but we're pretty much almost done. And now we can give some, maybe I'll be able to cover up the tear duct if I bring the lower lid up a little bit. Because when you blink, your lower lid does come up a tiny bit. So let's see if we can't fix it like that. I think that'll work actually. Okay, so let's smooth this out. Let me get these like 0.5 or something. Okay. And I give this one and these ones a tiny bit more. I don't know what they are. 0.4 maybe. Okay, so let's smooth this out. There it is. Okay. So our blink's gonna be something like this. So, and it looks, we almost covered with the tear duct, so good enough. That's fine like that. So now we're going to try and mirror these weights, and your results will vary. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The most important thing is to have joint labels on. So I'm pretty sure that the version of script I used has joint labels, but I guess I can check real quick. So and it does. Okay, good. And the script in RigHelper, the mirror weights actually uses the label, so if you just use this one, it should work. So let's see. Cool. Okay. So that makes our lives a lot easier, because doing that is the most time-consuming part. But now, since we mirrored weights, we might have some problems here. I guess that's not bad. Okay, cool. We are all done then. From here you can set up a facial GUI with these, but that's covered in my video. So I'm just going to go ahead and try get a quick pose here, pose or two, and see if everything's working good. So our auto lids should be working. Looks like they are. That's good. see if we can't get a smile. Okay, so it looks like everything is working good. Guess you can check out the jaw. Oh, sometimes this happens. To fix this, all you got to do is we can either mirror weights or use the weight hammer. So just like the verts that are messed up. I think it's only these ones. And then go to your paint skin weights tool and just click this little hammer button. And that made things way worse. Okay, so we'll just try and mirror our weights in. Okay, I think that fixed the problem. So hopefully the weight hammer will work now. Okay. And of course it didn't. So what I'm going to do is just assign these a value of 1 to somewhere. Okay. So let's replace it with 1, and I'll give it to the right upper lip joint. Okay, looks like I missed one here. And then we got some right here too. That's just Maya's skinning for you. It's not perfect, but it really isn't that bad. So after we do this, we'll have to smooth things out to make it look right. It looks like it's gonna be a huge mess, so yeah, I don't know what's going on here. But alright, that's better. Okay. Okay, so now our facial rig is all good to go. Make sure that sticky lips is working. Okay. Alright, so that is painting skin weights for the face, and at this point you have a fully functional rig, and where you would go from here is setting up a custom facial GUI for your joint rig if you want. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.